Oh,
All right, let me make sure we're live here. And we're live.
not on Twitch yet.
I just reloaded it. It looks good.
I reloaded it too, and it still says we're offline. Now
I
it says
just
we're live.
reloaded it. It's popped up. Yeah.
All right. Are you guys ready to get started?
Sure. It's extremely hot in this room, and the AC is on full blast next to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I have my nephews here, and my dog is in the room with me. She is drugged, but at any point, if you hear yelling or dogs barking,
Right.
She is drugged.
That's right. She's drugged. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's funny because my daughter sends me a message like, the dog's walking really funny. He's like, yeah, she's on 100 milligrams of trazodone right now.
Right.
That's why.
Just put on some comfortably numb. She'll be great.
Pretty much.
Yep. Oh, something's in the way. Specifically the Batman version.
That's right. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to a brand new episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpear.
Howdy.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
Let's go put a quick plug here for our Patreon page, patreon.com/E1M1 or E1M1.cash.
Those ones are the numerical digits. 1.
If you sign up there, you get the weekly Outcast, the uncensored exclusive. I can't even tell you all the stuff we talked about this week. We kind of barely made it through fun facts because we were talking about pretty much literally everything else. Big shout outs to
Talking about how the Plymouth Prowler is king.
That's right, the coolest bad car on the planet. Also, big shout out to our teenage fans out there. What's up? You can get
hello, fellow teen.
That's right. You can get that over there. You get early access to We Work Like It and Critical Misses. At the $5 tier or higher, you get exclusive access to the Critical Misses production meeting and the Wayward Sons, the Supernatural TV show watchcast that Moon and Nip are going through. All of that and more at e1m1.cash.
Ones are numbers.
All right, before we get into the games that we've played this week, we should talk about the kind of the largest news story here, since it's kind of casting a shadow over the industry at the moment, somehow larger than the Sony physical game distribution news story of last week. And that is Xbox is going to be laying off a total of 3,200 employees. I want to get the facts of the story here out first, because there have been a lot of like insider information and people said this and they worked at the studio and all that stuff. We talk about what we have heard and what we know here in a second. But this past week, Xbox and specifically the CEO Asha Sharma laid off 1,600 employees across the entire Xbox organization this past week. Somehow making it even worse, another 1,600 employees will be laid off over the period of the next year. Those employees that are getting laid off do not know who they are, and none of the teams or studios or anything know who's going to be impacted. So that is somehow worse than laying off just 1,600 people. You have a year of uncertainty.
I think they don't know. I think they don't know who the next 1,600 are.
Right.
Is. I think they're doing this 1,600, see who is quote unquote capable enough to stay, and then who gets gone.
Right.
I don't know. This reminds me of like the 2008 layoffs, where it was just like people were just being cut and businesses weren't paying attention to who they were cutting.
Yeah. A couple of studios outright have been affected. Compulsion Games, who made We Happy Few and South of Midnight, and Double Fine, who I don't need to introduce because you're listening to the show, have both become independent studios. So just outright, they have been cut loose from the Xbox organization, and they are out there doing their own thing. Ninja Theory.
Which,
Go ahead.
it's worth saying both of those studios did give a thanks for not selling us or cutting us and everything else. Thanks for allowing us to do this thing.
Right.
They had positive feedback, but I don't know if that's a hey, we want to keep a relationship with one of the biggest publishers on the planet kind of thing.
And like Xbox didn't need to do that, so it's like it's a great silver lining for them. They could have just shut down the studio and be like, okay, see you later, but giving them the opportunity to sort of kind of be set loose intact, I think is a much better outcome than I think I would have expected.
I don't know. A much better outcome would have been not to buy most of the industry and then lay everybody off. But
I mean, we
whatever.
all said that buying ABK was a bad idea, but how could that have led us to here? Who knows?
Yeah,
couldn't tell you. Ninja Theory, who made the Hellblade games, among other things, and Undead Labs, who made the State of Decay games, quote, have entered terms to join new ownership with funding to complete and grow Senua and State of Decay 3, end quote. So
those buyouts haven't been named.
Right.
Are they getting Tencent-ed or are they getting embraced?
I mean, embrace probably isn't going to happen because I think they have largely stopped embracing.
Yes.
Tencent.
The Embracer's been doing tons of layoffs too.
Yeah,
so...
Embracer. Wouldn't you know it?
Almost
got too big.
Almost like buying half of the industry is a bad thing.
Weird. We certainly won't repeat that again. Don't worry about it. I could see them getting bought by Tencent. More likely, they'll be bought by Saudi Arabia. That's kind of where the industry is right now. Is like, oh my gosh, a Saudi Arabian shell company bought our company.
Yeah,
weird.
SIF are probably going to come in for them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been talks though that Middle Eastern, I guess like banks or whatever, investors aren't even investing in the industry as much as they were back in COVID at this point in time.
Right.
So I don't even know where a lot of people would end up going at this point.
Not a lot of companies have money at the moment with interest rates crawling back up post-COVID and every component costing too much for 7 different reasons. So I don't know.
All of which are Microsoft's and Sony's and other big tech industries' fault for causing.
Right.
Yeah.
The last studio here that's been impacted is Arcane Leon has entered consultation, which they are a French studio, which means because of French labor laws, they need to the labor portion of Arcane Leon needs to meet with Xbox to make sure that Arcane Leon's studio or employees or whatever get taken care of appropriately based on French labor laws. So that's
it's well. Hold on. You mean you mean in other countries you can't just be laid off with no ifs and no buts? Wow.
A better way. There has to be a better way. Yeah, it's weird. Like if you take care of your constituents or your citizens, that maybe things could be better. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. So that apparently will have some effect, but from the little I know about French labor laws, that will probably be a fairly long process over there.
Yeah.
The layoffs will take place across. It seems like they're doing a real big downsizing of management to try and get rid of a lot of managers across.
The thing I did hear about this was like apparently there was, in order for a game to get approval, they had to go through 14 layers of management, which is just ridiculous.
Sounds right for a large tech company like that has been around for so long. Basically all of the, from hardware to software to first and third to first party studios will get affected. Mojang and King, the studios, will now report directly to Sharma herself. The previous head of Mojang is now going to be Xbox's COO because their COO is retiring. And then no publicly announced games or projects are being canceled as part of these cuts. So I know there's like a little bit of squiffiness around that because of things that studios are working on that haven't been publicly announced, that we're going to move into the rumor section here in a second. But any of the, at the moment, any of the stuff that's been publicly announced that hasn't been kind of cut loose from Microsoft is not going to be canceled, which I don't think that's really a lot of games at the moment. Probably a lot of what they showed on stage at Summer Game Fest, and that's about
and
it.
They're not cancelled as part of these cuts, but give it 6 months and let's see where we sit at in 6 months' time.
Yeah, like God of War.
I love the
Gears of War
I love
E-Day
the
isn't going to
excuse
get
of
canceled, but like that's about to come out. Same with Fable. Like that'll come out.
Yeah,
but beyond that,
like
who knows?
My concern is Blade. Like you've given that to probably the best team to do it in Arcane Leon.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, it's apparently it's over time and over budget. Like spoiler alert, that's
game?
AAA games.
Like a video game, that's never happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Just go away. So really quick. I think in the past capitalism structure, this would have been fine. Because not the layoffs, but I don't think this would have happened in the previous capitalist structure that we lived under before tech bros and their infinite growth came into this whole problem. When every industry decided to take after the tech bros lies and growth side of things,
the Facebook videos,
just go look at
part of the industry.
Yeah, and we've got 700% growth this year. We'll do the same thing, but more next year.
Just pivot to video. It's easy.
Previously, under the old capitalists like nightmare, I don't think these layoffs happened. But I think with the whole perversion of every industry to that moniker of, oh, we did this much, now we need to double it next year, double it the year after, double it the year after, double it the year after, over and over and over again. It just make a profit and be happy. Like, knock it off with this whole mess.
It's even worse because I had trouble finding exactly where the quote was going before we went live here. But Asha Sharma has been purported to say that she is focusing on having, on the Xbox platform, 1 billion people per day on the Xbox platform.
Oh yeah, the completely unrealistic hyper management quote.
Because at the moment, Xbox does have 1 billion players on their platform per year. So massively accelerating and squishing that number is just ludicrously impossible in a way that just is so out of touch in an industry that is regularly out of touch.
So that came from a message that was sent out to the Xbox employees team locally.
Yeah, it was
titled "Resetting Xbox."
It wasn't her like her big press thing. Okay.
No, it wasn't a big press thing. It was an internal email, I think, that got leaked.
Yeah.
As these
spoiler
alert for every CEO out there. If you're gonna send an internal email, it ain't internal for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's all the stuff we do know. The entire industry has been in uproar, and people that are at studios are talking about what they're seeing or potentially hearing rumors, and every like third-rate rumor monger that has any sort of YouTube channel is coming out and making videos. So a lot of stuff we're hearing is probably half true, but it's out there.
During this whole nightmare, I had the Bethesda were getting closed, and it's like, no, they're not. Like, Bethesda's fine. The one that I did hear about that made me chuckle, and I'm actually a little disappointed and a little excited for, is Obsidian have been restructured to not answer to the ZeniMax structure and Bethesda structure anymore. Obsidian are now answering to Xbox directly rather than going with that chain. And from what I understand, they have been told to cancel their work on that first-person game that they had, whatever it was called, Avowed 2. And they're now being told, hey, you're on a Fallout game. Go make a Fallout game.
Interesting. There have been some rumors from developers inside of Obsidian saying, like, no, we're going to keep working on Avowed 2. It's already pretty far done, so we're going to keep working on it.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a case of that will come out and then get ready for the Fallout grind, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's another one of those things too of like when the Fallout TV show has been so wildly popular, why aren't you doing literally anything with Fallout? Fallout Season 2 should have come out, and you should have had at least a lightly remastered version of New Vegas that's coming out. Like, it's one of those
At the bare minimum,
easy slam
considering
dunks.
the season 2 is basically set in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Spoiler.
And the number of, and I'm sure they'd be like, well, you can play Fallout 76. Yeah, cool. That's a great game that people don't want to play. Like that's just as someone who plays Marathon is playing a great game who no one wants to play. That's the thing. There was a moment there for a little bit during this week where id appears to have been largely massively downsized, and there was a rumor there for a little bit that Xbox is starting to come out and say is not true, that the team behind id Tech, which is the engine they've been using since Quake 1, let's
forever.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally forever. And it's like one of the cleanest, most scalable engines that Xbox as a whole has. That the majority, if not all of that team was going to be laid off, and they were going to be forced to work on Unreal Engine for future id games. That does not seem to be the case. That seems to be some sort of rumor mongering, but one of those believable things of like, yeah, of course you'd do that. Why wouldn't you? Just throw the whole thing out. Just throw it in the furnace.
Well, from what I understand on the id front is like they've been basically reduced to the level of staff they were at when they made Doom 2016.
Right.
Which is like
real small, scrappy team.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like don't get me wrong, layoffs suck, but they've proved that they can do it.
And I just
they proved that group can do it. Is that group part of this small team now, or is it a bunch of like people who have barely been there?
Well, and it's
assuming these layoffs are based on last in first out, that should be the case,
right?
But
they're
usually not. They're usually based on how much people make. Is the problem?
Exactly.
I think the thing that is frustrating to me is we saw this. We saw Google go through this a number of years ago when they hired this huge team and they were going to start making AAA games. As much as I hate that moniker, they were going to make big games, and they hired the best. They hired Jade Raymond to run one of the games. And then
we also watched Amazon do the same thing.
Yeah, Amazon did the same thing. And then they realized a couple of years in, oh my god, video games take forever, and they cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make for a gamble. And I'm concerned that we're watching Microsoft cut too close to the bone here with such an unreasonable goal of we want 1 billion people to play on Xbox platforms or in the Xbox ecosystem every single day. But you're shuttering studios. You're laying off thousands of people. Also, we haven't talked about it. Into an industry that cannot absorb them and hasn't been able to absorb them since post-COVID. And you're still not putting out video games. So what is the driver?
But still increasing your prices on everything, saying everything's super expensive.
Exactly. So like what's the driver?
You're the reason things are stupid expensive.
Yeah, like what is driving me as someone that doesn't hate the games that Xbox is? I'm not their like strongest soldier. I hate the Series X as a platform, but that's a separate thing. But like what is possibly driving me towards any Xbox thing at the moment if you already didn't have a lot of stuff coming out, and then you just killed a bunch of teams as quickly as you possibly can, or shuttered them, and then you laid off tons of people. By the way, Microsoft themselves is laying off 4,800
They're laying off a bunch too,
total, which does include this Xbox stuff as well. But like, you already weren't putting out stuff before. The hell are you going to put out now? Like, Game Pass, sure, is occasionally still a great deal, but for what? What am I getting there as a consumer that you've cut so close to the bone for? I just don't see.
Not even to mention the rumors coming out as well state that they've stopped talking about third-party deals right now for Game Pass.
Oh Lord.
Which is another restructuring that they need to take a look at, apparently.
Right.
I mean, say what you want about him, but politician Bernie Sanders said this best. Like, Microsoft made 101 billion in company profits. They pay their CEO 94 billion.
Right.
And they're laying off 3,200 Xbox employees and adding a $150 price tag on top of the consoles.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's on top of a $12.5 billion tax break that they got last year.
And Game Pass is more expensive, and now video games are going to get more expensive post GTA 6, and like we're adding 1, 2, 3, 5 more things on top of it. It just, we were talking last week about like, boy, is the video game industry racing towards another collapse here. And this is just like, we're in an untenable position across the board. And like, I just don't.
I mean, like, we do a video game podcast. Who out of the three of us, has the money right now if the next generation comes out tomorrow? It's not going to. But let's say it's price tagged at $1,000. Are any of us pre-ordering those next-gen consoles?
No,
I'm
not.
Here's the thing. My Ethernet port on my PS5 died. That's not a good sign. I can't afford another PS5. I can't afford a used PS5. Like,
it's also especially not good for someone who plays things like Marathon.
Right. For like my job.
But make sure you get your account online in the next 3 years, or you're going to lose everything.
You better buy a new one within 3 years, or else you know, what's going to happen? So like, it's not even the next generation. It's, you can't buy a console used or new now, and you better hope that your computer or your console or your Switch or your Steam Deck or whatever doesn't die, or like an accident happens. You can't afford another one. And then pretty soon, if you do have a console already, if you're lucky to have bought it during the COVID heydays, you're not going to be able to afford any games. And you can't buy any used games anymore because Sony's killing those, and Microsoft hasn't made a pressed disc except for their biggest of the biggest games in a while.
And we know that they're not going to make the games cheaper when they're digital only either.
No,
absolutely not.
No. And like,
that was the whole reason for them thinning the cases and for them removing manuals. Because it's like, oh, this is going to cut costs for us.
Oh, the margins are just
Meanwhile, we see increase after increase after increase. It's like, and the most annoying thing that I had found this entire time up to this point, where the people were like, well, you know, even before things got crazy expensive, everyone was like, well, video games are expensive to make. It's like, yeah, no one is debating that.
Sure, yeah.
What we're debating is the fact that, like you just brought up, the CEO is making $96 billion.
Right.
Meanwhile, the intern that you got doing, you know, what, 12-hour days, 16-hour days is making what, $16 maybe?
Right. Whatever the state minimum is. Well,
it's almost like late-stage capitalism is a literal nightmare that we live in.
Maybe capitalism was bad. It's just,
that's why we got really good news this morning, which I won't bring up here. But
it's just, it's really frustrating because where we're at in 2026, there doesn't seem to be a silver lining in the video game industry. Video games are taking longer to make. They are costing more for publishers and developers to make, even for smaller games. If you're an indie developer, you can't get any acceptance on the Steam platform. You're getting buried under a
visibility
bunch of other stuff. We are paying more for video games and often getting less, and getting video games that still kind of aren't using the power of the platforms that we're on, even this many years in, as they're talking about Project Helix and the PS6, which I'm not even close to being, like, this PS5 and the Series X are not sweating on any of these games. And we're getting less and we're paying more for it, and the developers that are the ones that are doing the hard work aren't getting paid anything. And the biggest games in the world right now are Roblox and Minecraft, which is fine.
And
but they're
on
not...
top of that as well, you also have the giant corporations still shoving microtransactions into everything.
Right. Like, look at NCAA
college sports, yeah.
Or college football 27. Like, it's all bad. And it's so hard to look at any part of the video game industry and say that stuff is doing well. And I think that's the most concerning part, is the hardware is too expensive, the software is becoming too expensive, the teams are becoming too expensive to run, and if you're small enough that you can put out an indie game, your path to visibility seems impossible. So
yep.
I don't know. I don't think I want to say we're in like a video game crash again. But boy, maybe our toes are getting real close to the edge here.
No, dude, I think we're licking the door. That's how close we are to it.
Honestly, since Embracing happened, I think that was the start of everything.
Yeah, it's Embracer and the APK purchase. I think those are the two like death knells for the current version of the industry.
and the whole COVID effect, where suddenly everyone had money to burn when COVID happened.
Yeah, interest rates went near to zero, and people were like, well, money's free, so let's do it.
Yep. I guess we're just going to spend $1 bajillion.
Yep.
We can, for the layoffs, I just wanted to put it in perspective for people who haven't been paying attention. In 2022, 8,500 people were laid off.
Right.
In 2023, it was 10,500, and this is global.
Yep.
2024, it was 15,650.
Jesus.
2025, it was 9,200, and so far this year in 2026, it's 8,312 people have been laid off.
It's just,
tell me this isn't a failing industry.
Yeah, like it's just untenable for this industry to keep running as it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'll put those links in our Discord too, because I
There's
read through a lot of the sources and stuff, and it seemed legit. Yeah. So
I wanted
to...
Go ahead.
Can we call Zavalio Nelson Jr. and just crown him king of video games and have him fix this whole thing for us?
That's right. He's pumping out games for cheap, and Strange Scaffold doesn't abuse their employees, and they're doing all right for themselves. So if you want to know how he does that, listen to our interview
for the sequel. Yes, I did see the trailer for the sequel that I still haven't played. I can't remember what it's called now.
Elsewhere, I think.
Yes, El Paso Elsewhere too, and I was like, oh, it looks so good.
Yeah. All right, so wanted to get all that out of the way at the beginning, because that's kind of the big thing that's looming over the industry overall at the moment, and that's going to color a lot of our coverage probably for a while here, because it's going to have unknown ripple effects on the industry over the next period of time. So
every week we get closer to a motorcycle podcast.
That's right. That's right. I got to brush up on my motorcycle repair here. All right, Moon, why don't you hit us with your points update and what you've been playing this past week?
As mentioned, I'm probably in the pre-show. Not a whole lot of time this week, so my points update this week is 905625.
Okay.
Like I said, not a whole lot. I only played 2 games. They're very related games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to refuse to talk about one of them.
Okay. On what grounds?
Okay, so I played 2 Lego games, one which I bought years ago and one which I bought recently. The one I bought years ago, I don't want to talk about.
Okay. Is it a magical school game?
It may or may not be a magical school game.
Those are
you picked up
Lego
SMT?
Games. Yep. Lego Shin Megami Tensei. Yep. Lego Persona 4 is great.
Lego Persona
it's still
is
homophobic,
a banger.
which is weird. They just really baked that in a Persona 4. It's strange.
I mean, the fact that they replaced the pistols with bananas to persona yourself is just an incredible touch on the cutscenes.
Yeah. Yep.
God, Lego
games anyway. They are. I love Lego games. I cannot help it. And the funny thing is, I'm playing one of them because I'm playing it. The one I won't talk about, I'm playing co-op.
Sure.
At the same time explaining the problems with that specific world and the problems the reasons why I'm not talking about it, I am explaining that at the same time as playing the game.
I am also in
which
the
is-
midst of having those conversations with my child as well.
Yeah,
of
it's-
like, yes, this is great. We also need to be
This is the
accepting
problem.
of people that are different from us or the same to us. We should be accepting of everybody in the world, no matter how
Yes.
they identify or whatever. We need to be
having
kind.
that conversation
Yeah,
repeatedly is very, very fun / not fun at the same time.
yeah,
Except the Dutch.
right.
Hey, I'm English, so I should be saying except the Norwegians because we just beat them in the quarterfinals.
There you go.
And I love Dutch people. I just also love Austin Powers. That's all.
Right.
The really funny thing is, my best friend back in England married a French Dutch woman, which is like the English
Double
worst
whammy.
person.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, correction. French Dutch Malaysian person,
Oh,
which is just
Ooh.
huh.
the trifecta.
Just exotic enough to be special.
Yes. Anyway,
Anywho,
the only other game I'm going to talk about this week, I need to talk about with Boston because it is Lego Batman: The Legacy of the Dark Knight.
okay, that is the
the-
only game I've played this week. So let's.
Okay, do
You
you want to
all
let
played
me?
it?
No, we can
Do we
talk about it
wanna-
now. I think it's.
I was going to say because I started playing it because I saw him playing it on stream, so
Yeah.
I started
Oh.
playing it at that point because I was like, okay, this gives us a conversation to go.
Right.
I thought this was like some weird thing where it's like you both just got
No.
on the same wavelength. It's like,
He-
it's been a while.
Right.
he started it, and I was like, I should play it just so we can talk
Yeah.
about it on the show as the Lego enjoyers that we are,
That's right.
the Lego video game enjoyers that we are.
I was looking for
actually,
a new game to play.
We just like Lego.
True.
Yeah.
I was looking for a new game to play, and I was like, you know what? I could go into a Lego game knowing that
Nothing.
it's probably going to be something I can easily 100%, and it's probably not going to be something that's going to take 400 hours this time. I'm assuming. I don't
Well,
know what the 100% looks like yet, but
It's fine. So from what I understand, it is a 10 to 12 hours, 100%.
okay, that sounds great.
This is not Lego Batman 3 where you're
Right.
expected to put 200 hours into it to get the 100%.
10 to 12 hours per planet, and it's like, what are you doing,
Yes.
man? Come on.
This is not that game. This is like
Right.
a 10 to 12 nice and thing.
Right.
Where did you get up to in playing it, Boston?
I did the so I've played for about 3 hours. I've done
Okay.
I've gone to the Batcave for the first time and done some stuff there, and I've done like 2 more missions after that, but it's kind of not too much more after that.
Who is your secondary character?
Still Jim Gordon at the moment.
Okay. So you're back at you've found the basic Batcave, not the full Batcave, and you're back out in the city trying to
Yeah.
do the next set.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm further than that. I am officially in Batman 89 territory,
Okay.
to give you an idea. So, minor spoiler alert, if you're planning on playing this game. This game basically is the entire Batman timeline all squiggled together in one giant timeline.
Yeah. Yep.
As it should be.
So like the start of the game, you are doing the training for the
Batman
League of
Begins.
Shadows from Batman Begins.
And like a little bit of CW stuff.
Yes, a little bit of CW stuff mixed in too, because it's the Raj from the comics too, which is hilarious.
Yep.
I will say the writing in this game is phenomenal because they know just the right weight to put on a reference
Yes.
before it gets ridiculous.
Right.
Like Ra's al Ghul, for example, he says while he's speechifying, he's like, we need to deal with Gotham, and I have a particular set of skills for dealing with this kind of situation.
And you're like,
And immediately,
all right.
if you know
Yep.
that Liam Neeson played him, and Liam Neeson played
Yep.
Taken, who has a particular set
And
of
they
skills.
immediately drop it.
They don't even make a big deal of it.
No.
It's just a line that they put in there, and it's just like, okay, you know what you're doing here. That's phenomenal.
Yep.
Like, and it's the new Lego style too, so it's completely voice acted. It's
Yep.
like completely animated, like cutscenes. It's not just ripping audio from the movies like the Lord of the Rings one did. It's nothing like that.
Let me ask you guys about that. because you guys have played more Lego games than I have.
Mhm.
I have not
Mhm.
played the new ones where it has the full voice acting. I've seen my son play one of them before.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about the full voice acting as opposed to the mimicking and all of that?
They're largely well
I
done
prefer
now.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a charm to the original ones where they weren't voice acted, but I think they figured out pretty quickly how to balance telling a new voice acted story versus is like there was that awkward middle ground, like Moon said, where they were just ripping voice lines from the movie, and that kind of didn't. Lego
It's
I
Hobbit
didn't like
is
that at
is really
all.
good. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
just liked how goofy the originals were.
right?
Where it's
I
like,
did
oh,
too, to be
here's
honest.
here's someone getting shot with a fish instead of an arrow because
Yeah.
they're keeping in mind that at the time this was only for kids.
I
And
think they
Oh,
now they're
found
for everyone.
the right voice actors to nail that goofiness with not just because they're still doing that stuff, but they're nailing it with the voice acting at the same level now. So it's like
Yeah.
the goofy voice acting is there along with, oh my god, the tutorial area, I'm seeing the same ninja yak for the 5th time, and it's still pretty funny.
Yeah.
And the game is kind of referencing it.
Well, it's also like the famous one is like the original like Star Wars games, because they didn't have the voice lines. When Darth Vader and Luke met up and they did, spoiler alert for the Star Wars,
for a 40-year-old
when they
movie.
did when they did the famous, no Luke, I am your father line, he couldn't say it. So he literally held up a little Lego photograph of Padme and
Right.
young
That's right.
Anakin.
young Anakin
Yep.
with a little baby, and he's like, this is how they showed it. And then I think when they did the Legacy of Skywalker, the Skywalker Legacy like one, they did the voice acting, but they did the photo gag at the same time.
Yeah.
So it plays on both things, where it's like, they voice act it well, but also they do still have the dumb gags in there all the time.
And
Like,
I think the thing that's the most impressive for me with this game is actually the gameplay and the systems. So when you start this game, the tutorial is really long. It's about an hour, and it's the whole Batman Begins thing of the ninja training and the flower and the whole mountain and all of that. But what they're really doing is introducing you to their version of the Arkham combat system.
I was so glad when they started doing this, when they were like, oh, hey, here's a stealth takedown room.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take down everybody using the stealth things. And because I've played like most of the Arkham games, I'm like, oh, this is exactly how I remember.
Yeah,
and
you just go up to the gargoyle, and then you grab somebody, and then you're done. But I think...
And I don't know, you probably don't have it yet, but there's a bat hook in it. And you can upgrade that so you can even do the gargoyle takedowns on people.
I'm about
so you can
to
hang them.
Unlock that one, yeah.
It's so good.
But what I think is really impressive about this is the stealth genuinely works, and it's easy enough and forgiving enough that it's still a kid's game. So like you still feel like you're playing the Arkham games. It has a very similar combat system, but you're still playing a kid's game, and you don't have like the MGS3 European Extreme guards that see you from like 200 yards away, and they're like, hey, who's that over there? You're like on top of them, and they're like, who's that over there? So like,
I was thinking, it's like, oh, you don't have to describe to your child that. No. He just hugged him. See, the detective vision says he's still alive.
It's a sneaking mission. Well, they still do the great Lego thing that they explode into parts when you take them out.
And like the stealth takedowns are great too, because like he'll like tap someone on the shoulder and then whack him over the face with like a frying pan,
right? Or hit him with a fish.
Hit him with a fish, stick a bin over their head. Like they're all stupid Lego punny ones.
And a lot of them will have like the big Batman wham on top of them, which is a lot of fun.
The whack and the crack and the thwack and all of the other onomatopoeias all exist.
That's cool.
But what I think is the thing that I was the most impressed by is the non-combat stuff. Watching my kid play the Magical School Lego games and seeing her struggle with, if you're trying to figure out,
Follow the ghost studs and
well,
everything
not that,
else.
but specifically the like, if you can't figure out how to solve the puzzle in a room, break literally everything. One of those things will be turned into pieces that you can use to build something else. What I think is so smart in this is you have the detective
Oh,
vision like
highlights
usual,
it.
but one thing it does highlight, you don't have to use it, but it's there if you want it, is pieces. Like if you need to break 3 things to build something else to take
Yeah,
down
it'll
the
give
enemies.
you, it will literally highlight a build zone and tell you how many quote unquote pieces of the build zone you're missing. So,
Right,
like Boston said, let's say it says 3, it'll say 0 of 3. And then if you break something, it'll say 1 of 3, and then
right.
something else, 2 of 3. And if you're
Okay.
stuck, you literally do the scan thing, like the detective vision,
Yep.
orphan vision, as the No Quarters crew used to call it. You do that, and it's a big yellow highlight saying, "Hey,
Yep.
this thing over here,
Break
this is
this
the
thing.
final thing you need to break."
And it's such a good improvement to, because remember, these are kids games, and taking away that point of friction on this game helps it so much to just say break these things in the environment and you will be able to use them to break. Those aren't all the puzzles. Like some of the puzzles are fairly solid in this.
Push things, push and pull
Yeah,
things.
put this thing on a pressure plate so you can stand on the other ones. A lot of the Riddler ones have been really good so far, but I think just taking away that friction that I have seen my own kids struggle with, of like, what am I supposed to do in this room? Like, what? I don't even understand any of this. I think that alone is such a huge improvement on this game.
Yeah, it feels like a genuine game changer, especially when like, so let me just tell my one disappointment on this, which
Sure.
is it's very telling of how used to the Lego games I are. I don't like the fact that the red bricks are just cosmetic changes now. I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan of that.
Yep.
Like I I want that thing where it says underneath my studs times 9,672 because I've
Exactly.
got multipliers.
Yep.
But the studs don't seem to matter as much. Like you can still purchase them. I don't know if you've got it yet, Boston, but there's a store that you can unlock that will
Not
allow
yet.
you to buy like additional costumes and props and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the red bricks being like just a cosmetic change is kind of because it's like I don't need to change the color of the costume to green because I have 50,000 costumes that I have to
Right.
unlock, and every one of them corresponds to a different Batman or Batman era or whatever the case may be, or 60s Jim Gordon with his giant afro. Like
Right.
all of that stuff is there waiting to be unlocked. It's like I don't need palette swaps for all of these. Like it feels like they did red bricks a disservice, but
Yeah.
I'm fine with that because the rest of the game is so well put together. Like,
And they
go ahead.
do switch up from previous games, even the last Star Wars one they put out. It isn't you're collecting 200 characters in this anymore. You have 7 characters in this game, and you're collecting costumes for them instead. So it's not.
Yep.
It's a much
Didn't they do
different.
that with the last Batman one?
No, there's millions of characters in Lego Batman
Was
3.
there?
Like
Yeah.
Okay.
millions.
Yeah, you were collecting like heroes and villains and like Condiment
There
Man
was
and
still
Calendar
there was still
Man.
a bunch of costumes, but
Yeah.
they multiplied the costumes on top of the on top of the characters too, so it was a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it's really fun just like going through, and like you said, Boston, like the 7 characters, I can guess who the ones I haven't unlocked are.
Sure.
Like it's easy enough to guess. I can figure out who they're going to be, especially based on what I just unlocked the next character after Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very obvious, but like if you go into the costume, it's great. If you go into like the character options, you can change the costumes whenever you want, and every description of the costume includes where it's from. So
Oh,
like
that's nice.
like if you my Batman one has got like, oh, the original comic look with the gray and the blue, and it's like, oh, this is the blue from this comic run in this year, and then it's like, oh, this is the
That's
Batman
cool.
Begins Batsuit, this is from Batman Begins in like whatever year, this is minor spoiler alert, the Batman outfit, which is from the Batman from 2022.
Right.
I'm assuming because you got to the city, you already got the first Bat car.
Yeah, which also, like, there's other improvements I want to talk about. This is also like a semi-open world game that has multiple.
It's literally it's an Arkham game.
Yeah, they've made
like
like
literally.
multiple small. They're like maybe a handful of city blocks large is the first area you're in, but like you're driving a Batmobile around. You're picking up random missions. Again, it's a kids game, so a lot of them are like, "Hey, 300 meters away, there's a chest up here. You can just open. There's no like mini game associated with it." Or like, here's a Riddler challenge to do. Or
here's a wanted poster. Put it together.
Right. Or like there's a random crime that's happening. Go stop a random crime. So like, there's a lot of stuff in this game, but I think what has been surprising to me is how they're kind of subverting what I'm used to in a Lego game that Traveler's Tales has made, because it's not you finish an introductory level, it's maybe 3 minutes, then you're dumped in the hub and you see all of these options you can do. The Magical School game does that to great effect. The same with the Star Wars games. But you don't get to...
It's super linear.
You don't get to the Batcave for a really long time. And I'm now finding out that's not even the real Batcave. Because when you get into there, I'm like, I can't even spend any of the, like, stuff I'm picking up. Like, where do I do all of this stuff?
What do I do with this Wayne tech, with these upgrades?
Yeah,
how do I do anything?
So, like, all of that stuff being, like you said, much more linear, I think makes this game feel a lot different. Not in a bad way, but in a way that...
So much more approachable.
It's more approachable, and I think for people like us that have played all of these games, turns it into kind of a fresher experience of like, oh yeah, I finished the level, now I'm going in this giant hub, and here's all the characters. I can't get to this place because I don't have a droid, or I don't have a dark force enemy. I guess I better bring, you know, the Emperor Palpatine over here.
There is definitely a free play aspect to each of the story levels.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. So the classic thing it doesn't have that true hero like Lego studs bar from every level, which I'm fine with. But there is definitely going to be a free play aspect to it, because I've run into 1 or 2 collectibles on a level which are stuck behind stuff that my character that I have does not have.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what that is because I might ruin a potential future character. But it's like, okay, this is the free play aspect of this level, so I'm probably going to go back through and get the collectibles and everything else and do whatever.
Yeah,
that's fine. But like, it's so refreshing to just be like, okay, yeah, I just want to go and do the next mission. And it takes you to the next mission, you continue the story, and then as soon as you're back in the open world, like once you unlock the next character, Boston, you can literally change at will. And they'll just flip right then and there. The only character you have constantly is Batman.
Right.
And then you can just literally, you can switch the other character like at will, nice and quick, super simple.
Speaking
and go ahead.
Speaking of switching, one of the things that I respect the most in this game, and I know this sounds like the smallest thing, but each of your characters has a gadget they use. Like, you have your Batarang as Batman. Jim Gordon has like a like ping-ponging ball thing, or like a foam gun.
The Gotham City Police Department issued foam gun, I believe he refers to it as.
Something like that, yeah. It's like the Prey goo gun, basically. But what I really appreciate in this game, and it's like the smallest point of friction, but I appreciate that I feel like they got it, is once you get more than one gadget for your characters, when you aim down sights to use it to solve a puzzle, it automatically switches to the one you need to use by itself. And it's like one of those things of like, I don't mind switching between all these things to do it, but like,
because it's literally left and right on the D-pad too. Like, it's a super quick switch. But the fact that like you aim down sights and it's like, no, this isn't a batarang, this is a hook.
Right.
So here you go, kind of situation.
With it again being a kids game, softening those restrictions and like smoothing out the friction is such a huge thing that I feel like for the first time in a while, I love the studio that makes these games. Don't mistake me. I feel like they have gotten it again. Like they've gotten the fact that it is a kids game first and foremost.
Yeah.
And they have designed it and developed it like that to be as friction smooth as possible. It's still a hard game. Like you still have to fight and you're still solving puzzles, but all of the like BS around, oh, you didn't use the right tool, so now you gotta wait for the cooldown to use the right, like all of that stuff is gone. And I think it makes the game so much better.
And like the thing that I love about this is so far it has seamlessly kind of blended. So like I said, you're not that far right now. I believe if you're with Gordon in the city, then you're still on the hunt for Falcone, I believe.
The last thing that I did was Red Hood 1, whatever his name, Joker.
Yes.
I finished that big kind of mission.
Oh, the Ace Chemicals
Ace
mission?
Chemical Factory. Yeah, that was the last one that I did.
Yeah, so Red Hood 1 telling all of his people that he just wants to put a smile on everybody's faces is just like, yeah, okay, we know where this is going.
Yeah, like you're
we know who
telegraphing
this
it
is
pretty early, which is great because it's a kid's game.
Yeah, when Red Hood 1 is speaking with Falcone and he's like, as he's walking out before the big kerfuffle happens, he says, "This city deserves a better class of criminal." And I'm like, that's a Heath Ledger line, baby. I know that line.
Sure. I also like the
so
scummy
good
cop that's on the Falcone's payroll looks like the
Flass.
cop.
Yes.
Yeah, Flass looks like the cop from the movie, and I was like, all right, that's the guy you want to model that character after.
And it's even better because like they're all dealing in donuts.
Yes.
And like after that mission, like the news report says like 50 cops or something found with donut sprinkles on their face, and it's just like really nicely just a little like off to the side way of saying the grown-ups in the room know what this is and the kids will find it funny that the cops are found with donut sprinkles on their face. There's so many little touches too, like when you first get introduced to Ra's al Ghul, he does a little peck dance, which I thought he does the peck dance and then he does the particular set of skills line, and I burst out laughing at the peck dance that I almost missed the line, like the climbing the mountain with Talia and then the rare blue flowers Aro's stall at the top is just like, it's goofy kids humor and the best kind of way. Like everything, like the bit where Bruce goes down the well when he's a grown-up, when he goes back to the garden and he goes down the well, and it's that heroic shot from Batman Begins where like he's standing, he's like kneeling down in the caves, and he stands up and all of the bats are circling around him as they fly out of the well because he's disturbed them. Except in this, the bats all start pooping on him and he's covered in little white Lego studs of bat poop.
In bat poop?
It's just so ridiculous on the best kind of thing. You probably haven't seen it yet, Boston, but actually, yes, no, you have, because did you do the shipping yard yet?
I don't.
Where you have to go into Falcon's fisheries?
Yeah.
The fact that when Batman is introduced to the criminals and that he's in like a storage container and the criminals all go inside and it's shot like that corridor scene from the Batman where it's all black except it's all flashing. And it's him doing it. The fact that the Batmobile is the Batmobile is phenomenal. The fact this being from Warner Brothers Games and them having the license to be able to not argue with anybody, to get whatever they want, to do whatever. I'm gonna do a minor spoiler here for you, Boston. It'll be really you'll expect it to happen. But the Penguin chase from the Batman 2022 is in this, where you're chasing the Penguin. and it does the whole Lego car through the flames kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it uses the music from the movie in that moment.
It sure did. I got a light copyright warning on YouTube of like, come on, man. It's like I can't. It's the music from the movie. I can't do anything about it.
And the fact that they like mix all of the music from the different movies and everything into the place, like,
Yep.
like there was a sequence that I just did. I think it was transitioning from the Batman to the next thing to Batman 89.
Mm-hmm.
It played the animated series like intro music while it was doing like the recap of what is happening, and I was like, oh,
that's the good
I've
stuff.
never seen the animated series, but that is one of the most iconic intro music of all time. And it's like, I know it, and I've never seen the series, and it's just like, they've made an Arkham game in the best way that they could, considering the Lego format. And like, I love Lego games. I do. I love Lego, period. Like, Lego, period, Lego games. I love all of Lego. And the care and attention to detail they've done in this, getting the glide. Do you have the glider's ability yet?
I just got it, yeah.
Having the glider ability, and they literally give like a $300,000 piece of kit to Gordon so he can glide with Batman at the same time.
Yep. Like
they're breaking the rules in the best ways where they need to allow the gameplay to be continuous. I love this game, man. It's so funny, it's so chill, it's presented spectacularly well.
It really is. And it's a Lego Arkham game. Like from a gameplay perspective, which is wild, and it actually genuinely works.
It works so well.
That was kind of the hope going in, is like, man, if they only made like a Lego Arkham game, that would be pretty cool. And then they did. And then they also made it a little bit open world. It's not huge, because again, it's still a kid's game, but like, they kind of nailed the whole thing. It's really great.
Yeah, and like even the open world is fine. Like there is races that you will unlock at some point, and I hate open world races. I hate them.
Yeah, they're always the worst.
This is a Lego game, so do you know what happens when you run into another car with a Batmobile? The other car goes over the top of you, and you just keep driving.
Yep. And someone goes, living in Gotham City, huh?
Yep. Or Gordon says, I'm going to have to write you a ticket for this later.
That's right.
Like,
yeah. It's so really good. And I think it's really good, and it feels fresh in a way that these games haven't. Like the Lego Star Wars one that came out what was that, Legacy?
I thought that was solid.
That was a really
Skywalker
good game.
saga.
But I feel like they've taken another step with the Lego games that I didn't realize they needed to, and it feels.
I forgot about the dance sequence that's on the video right now. Yeah, there's another one of those, Boston, and it's even better.
Great. This game's really good. I'm very happy with it, and I'm really curious to see where it's gonna go, especially hearing that it's not. Even that Lego Star Wars one that came out was a very big game. I think this so far has been a better game because it's more focused and it's a lot shorter, instead of like, you can fly your spaceship around the entire galaxy. It's like, I would be okay if I didn't. That would be okay. And this feels
one of the reasons I bought this outright is because I want to support this team making these games.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to wait for sale. I'll just buy it day one and play it whenever I feel like playing it. But I want you guys to make more of these kind of games. Because this is the blue. It's Batman, so it's dark and everything else. Right. But it's still a blue sky kind of game because of the way it's presented, the way it plays, everything else about it. And it's like, yes, give me more of these. I will pay you. I am voting with my wallet and saying, give me more of these games, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I really adore them.
Yeah, 100%. I don't have anything to add. Go check it out. It's been great so far.
Yep. It's phenomenal. Go play it.
Yep.
Please. But yeah, that's all I've been playing, Nimp. Take us away.
All right. My first game that I'm going to talk about is Rise of the Ronin. I have put in a lot of time with this game. I kind of just want to put out there, why is nobody talking about this game? This is a really good game.
Yeah,
I can tell you why.
Out a couple years ago.
I can tell you why. Ghost of Tsushima. That's why they're
No.
not talking about it.
No, because this game, and I looked it up because I thought, did it come out during the Assassin's Creed Shadow Ghost of Yotai era?
Right.
This came out in 2024 on PlayStation and then 2025 on Windows.
Okay.
So it was a year before on PlayStation that it released, before Assassin's Creed and Ghost. And then the Windows version came out, what, 2 weeks before? A week or two before Assassin's Creed came out, and then Yotai didn't come out until October of that same year.
Okay.
So it's like, okay,
But
so...
people were burnt out on this kind of game, though, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, they were like, why would I buy that when I can buy
this kind of game came out before the rest of the games came out that everyone was burnt out on.
Yeah.
My other big thing is like, I had this on my radar when it came out because it sounded interesting. But even on other sites, like just looking into it, looking for information on it, it's like, it seems like barely anyone has touched this game, even though it critically scored pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who's played it, like if you look online, everyone who's played it is like, oh man, this is a great game and everyone should check it out.
Yep.
And I'm one of those people. This is a great game. Everyone should check this out. It has, I won't say it has fully pulled me out of my rut that I was in,
Sure.
but it is definitely one of those where it's like I can tackle this a bit at a time. So it's like, okay, I'm in this area. I'm going to grab this treasure chest. I'm going to do this side mission, and I'm going to call it good for right now, kind of thing. The systems here, playing more and opening up more of these systems. So you do have, as you level up, you will unlock skill points, which I brought up last time. Completing missions, you will get skill points. You have strength, charisma, intelligence, and dexterity are the 4 stats that you have. Each of those stats has a special skill point that can only be used for that stat. The skill points themselves can be used for any of them. They're universal. And it's not as simple as, okay, I just put in a skill point in strength, so now my strength has gone up. No. What you're doing is you have each one of those stats as a skill tree. And so let's say you have a skill that you want to put into, I don't know, archery in your dexterity one. It'll cost you 2 skill points. You will notice on the bottom left, it'll tell you, hey, if you put in 1 skill point, this will increase your dexterity and let's just say luck, because I don't remember what the other skill is off the top of my head. You do that, those go up. The next time it'll tell you, hey, if you grab 2 skills from this, it will increase those 2 stats again. And so that's how you level up your character in this. And each stat has like a bunch of different things. Like the dexterity one had a bunch of the assassin stuff that I'm doing in it, which is really fun. The intelligence one has a lot to do with like status effects and making them more potent and making them more aggressively seeking other enemies within an area kind of thing. The strength one, it's like, oh yeah, just you can get more healing kind of stuff, and it increases your strength, so you're doing more damage kind of stuff. So it's not just a pure, oh, I put points into strength and now I'm hitting harder. Right. No, you're putting points to get this skill, whether it be passive or active, and then it will increase the stats that it's related to.
Interesting.
Another thing that I discovered while playing, when I had brought up last week about the weapon proficiency and not really understanding what that did, I discovered that if you hit L2 while looking at proficiencies, it gives you a list of what each level of proficiency in a weapon will give you.
Okay.
So it's not just, oh, you get better with these weapons, you do more damage. It's usually something like those are in there, but it's also something like it takes less karma for you to block an attack. These weapons, you can easily, or like status effects on your weapons will last longer when you're using this weapon at this proficiency. I discovered since last time that you can fight with no weapons. You're just unarmed and you're just punching people. And that is considered a non-lethal attack.
Oh, interesting.
The funny thing is that all of the blocking and the parrying and everything, it works normally. So you can have a guy come at you with the giant Odachi and if you parry or block it, it works just like having a weapon. So
Oh.
it's like really weird. Um, and the funny thing is, for me, is if you parry a ranged attack at the correct moment, your weapon, no matter what you have equipped, will catch on fire and you start doing burn damage.
Oh.
This turns into Fist of the North Star, where you parry an arrow. Not only does it reflect that damage back to the enemy, your fists are on fire.
Heck
And
yeah.
you are just beating the heck out of people with it. And it has its own move set. And the proficiency levels for this increase, like it's all like character growth. So it increases your health, it increases certain attacks and status and buffs and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, it almost feels like you should level up your unarmed
Right.
before you really start getting into, at least from my perspective, before you start getting into other weapons. The other funny thing is, since I've gone full shinobi assassin kind of thing, when I attack people or go to assassinate them, I stand up on the roof and I can throw down the grappler and pull people up. And it's pretty much the same animation, but it changes depending on the weapon that you have. She will, if you, with the dual blades that I've been using, she will grab one of her blades and just stab somebody either in the back or in the chest as she's holding them. With with bare hands, she'll basically just like choke them out and then just drop them.
Huh.
And now you just have a body there. Where this gets really funny is when you do the glider assassinations, where your character drops down from the glider. My character splays out like a flying squirrel and just grapples them, and then just snaps their neck. Well, doesn't really snap their neck, but basically just puts them in a sleeper hold and then
Right.
flips them over.
That's incredible.
It's just the funniest thing ever. So I have gone, not fully. I still use my dual blades for boss fights. Because the damage output with the fist is still pretty good, but I've come up against a lot of bosses where it's like, no, I need to do damage now, so I got to pull out the dual blades for that. But there are certain missions where it is optional for you to do no kills. And all you have to do is either go in there unarmed, or you can grab training weapons, which are basically like the wooden versions of whatever weapon you want to use. And you have the same move sets and everything, but it's just considered a non-lethal takedown at that point.
Huh.
And so you get bonuses and stuff. So I keep getting like random bonuses and stuff for doing all these non-lethal takedowns because I'm leveling up my fists. And it's just really fun.
That's cool.
I've found out there is a dog that you get that you can send out. You give it money, and it will wander around in other people's games and just start collecting items.
Okay.
And you as the player will find other people's dogs in your game, and you can walk up and pet them, and petting them or associating with them does something special for the other player. Like, I guess they get an additional item or something like that.
Wow. All right.
So there's no reason not to. You just walk up and you pet it, and the dog's good to go. The other funny thing is with the cats. I was talking about how you can collect cats in this, and that a lady was opening up a business for it. That business turns into the Cat Concierge.
Oh.
And it is a menu option that you can select, and you can send your cats out on missions.
Oh, perfect.
And so it'll tell you, like right now, I have like 38 cats unlocked. Each mission needs a specific amount of cats to go.
Mm-hmm.
The cats need to have specific stats.
Of course.
And it's a specific real-time counter that goes down, and it looks like it goes down even if you're not playing the game.
So real AC Brotherhood sort of thing.
Yeah, and so I am at the point where you can only do one mission at a time starting out. I have sent out enough cats where I now have 2 slots, so I can send out 2 groups of cats, and it looks like you can send out 4 or 5 altogether. And once they complete, you go back to your longhouse, and all of a sudden you just have like a bunch of items that the cats have found and they're giving to you, and then you can send them back on their way. So it's like all this weird, crazy stuff. And this is still firmly a B tier game because the controls are still janky every once in a while, where I will jump off a building to go glide. To glide, you just double tap, jump, like you do in any other game that has a glider. Every once in a while, the glide just doesn't happen, so you just fall like a stone.
Right.
And there's no rhyme or reason for it. It has screwed up many assassination runs for me.
Yeah.
But, and so putting in this amount of time, I'm invoking that this is a modern alpha protocol.
Oh, an
Uh-oh.
early entry
Oh.
for Alpha Protocol of the Year.
Yes.
All right.
It has the
I
jank.
mean, you
It
say
has the
early.
fun.
That's a mid-year entry.
Yeah. But it's like there was a point where the story was popping off, and I'm like, this is stupid. Like ridiculously stupid in a fun way.
Right. Good stupid.
And then once this really heavy story beat completes, I get a mention, hey, your cats are back from their mission. It's like, okay.
Fair enough.
So I am just having like figuring out that I didn't have to have a weapon equipped, and it's just your character doing like punches and heavy punches, and there's like skills that you can set in where it's like one of the attacks that it does is just like a corpse beater is what it's called.
Oh wow.
Where it's just your character is just sitting there pummeling them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one that I unlocked was called a Raven Kick, where they're basically doing a hurricane kick in the air for like a brief moment.
Oh jeez. Okay.
It's like all this crazy stuff, and the fact that your character looks like a flying squirrel when you're trying to do an air assassination. And I'm like, this is just great. This is what I needed right now. So yes, Rise of the Ronin. If you have not played this game, you should check this game out. It is pretty fun. Set your expectation to B tier, and you will have a grand time with this game.
Oh man.
Speaking of B tier, I also checked out Genesis Alpha 1 briefly.
Yes.
I have at least got the notification that I've completed the tutorial.
Okay.
I did not like how the tutorial ship basically just clumped everything right next to each other.
Yep.
It was like, okay, well, I kind of have to deal with this now, because basically you have a bridge, you've got the greenhouse is like right there next to it. There's like 2 storage units, and I think I had to eventually, it either came with it or I had to build a teleportation or a tractor beam room.
Oh right.
And it was all just like crammed right next to each other. It's like, all right, cool. I will mess with this later. And as I started getting more resources in, I realized that I wasn't stuck on a flat plane. Like I could build 3 levels up or 3 levels down.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this is really changed the game for me. Right. So
that's right.
I did mention before that I had watched a video of somebody else playing it because I was trying to figure out if I was kind of in the mood for it. And this guy did not do anything with any of this. Like he was basically doing his own thing, and it all went sideways for him. So far, it has not gone sideways for me.
Right.
I have, as soon as I could, I experimented with, okay, if I break this thing down, do I get all of the parts back or just some of it? So far, it looks like I get all of the resources back. Okay. Because I was able to build 1 for 1. Like if I tore down a storage unit, I could then build a storage unit if I didn't have the components beforehand.
Sure.
So I have gone through, and I have built 3 levels up. I have storage. I have crew quarters on either side. I have 2 depots, which I may change down to 1. I just got really full and didn't have a furnace yet. I have a hangar, the tractor beam room, and just off of the tractor beam room, I have the furnace.
Okay.
And the idea for this layout is because apparently anytime the robots, or anytime you, let's bring this back a little bit, coming a little ahead. Anytime you teleport anything in, there's a tractor beam something in, there is a chance that a monster or something will come out with whatever you're grabbing.
Right.
So, and sometimes it has a fungus on it that you have to clean up, and sometimes it's monsters.
Yeah. So I had to go through and I set up like the turret guns. I have the energy gates, set up so things can't just scurry through there. I then found out after building the hangar that anytime the robots move, like the buckets of ore or whatever, every time they touch that, there is a possibility of something spawning from it, whether
Right.
they're grabbing it, setting it down, moving it, whatever. It's like, okay, well, that's a pain. So all the possibilities of things just spawning on my ship are on one side with one corridor
Gotcha.
on the very upper level.
Makes sense.
So, and I have turrets everywhere in there.
Yep.
So it's not an issue. The crew quarters, I just kind of kept up there because it kind of just made sense that they're all just hanging up there, either in the hangar or in the refinery or the tractor beam room anyway. Might as well just have the quarters there. All the way down at -3, B3 level, I have my biomass room, my clone room, and I think that might be it for right now. I don't think I built anything else down there. And on the 0 plane, I just have the bridge and the greenhouse. Oh, I have a weapons thing on the B3 level as well.
Oh, right.
So I'm kind of just playing around with where I'm shoving things, because I'm kind of figuring that at some point something's going to happen in the upper tier. And it's like, cool. That's up there. That's their problem. I'm not having all this crap down here doing things.
That's +3's problem. That's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
How very capitalist of you.
That's right.
Exactly. So I have sent people down. Like, I've gone down through the hangar to go get parts. I found my first, I forget what they called. It's this beacon or whatever that's down on the planet, where you basically download data from it and then you get something from it. I did one of those, and then I was kind of like, well, what happens if I send 4 of these people down here, but I don't go with them?
Oh, right.
Well,
AC brother.
It can mixed results, we'll say.
Right.
Yeah. So far, nobody has died, but every time they have come back, there have been tons of aliens that pop out.
Yep, the keyword there is so far.
Right.
Yeah. And it's really funny. I have to hand it to how they created the AI for this game, because I have turrets in the hangar on either side of the bay. So when aliens pop out, those turrets are going off. The moment the bay door opens for the ship, like, those 4 clones pop out of their weapons up and they just start blasting things. Like, they know what they're there to do. And it's like, sweet, this is turning out well. And it's the same thing with the people in the other parts of the ship. The moment something shows up that shouldn't be there, they just start blasting it.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, works out. I have, I'm trying to think, I think I have like 8 or 9 crew members right now.
Dang. Okay.
All human. I just unlocked enough DNA so that I can make mantis people and one other alien race.
Okay.
But I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. However, those require different breathable atmosphere, and I am not ready to start screwing around with that. I am fine with humans right now. So
that is when things get ridiculously complicated.
Yeah.
When you're trying to
seems like it.
atmosphere your spaceship.
Yeah, because right now just trying to keep them alive sometimes seems like an odd task. But I haven't explored much past the system that it started you in. I've hit other star clusters within that square on the map that you can select, just so that I can start getting more items and stuff, so that way I can start refining more stuff, so I can start building more stuff. And the tutorial was basically like, hey, you've done everything at this point. You should go see what's out there. And I'm like, well, I got a good thing going right now, so I'll just kind of deplete everything here and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to my ship just getting blown up or whatever happens in this game.
Right.
I think I'm waiting for some terror to just like show up and just work its way through my ship, and I have to hit the big red button for like warp core detonation kind of thing.
So out of curiosity, what like enemies have you encountered? Have you encountered that, like, while doing, have you started doing searching, like beaming to other ships to do like searches yet?
No, I haven't done that. So far, all I've run across are the worm things and the little mantis critters.
Okay.
Okay.
So not anything bigger than those.
Okay.
So when I think it's a station in the bridge maybe, but when you find like a derelict, you can use a station at the bridge to either send your crew out to explore the derelict, or you can go out and explore the derelict. And that's when things get truly terrifying in this
Yep.
game.
Is that when I see "Welcome to the Ishimura"? Just
Right.
Basically, yes. How do you feel about things with 8 legs? Is what that sign's
That's
going to
right.
say.
great, but this is a fun game so far.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not too heavily into it, but I do like the shipbuilding. There has been a couple times where I'm just like, why isn't this letting me put this here? There's clearance, which is why I separated everything so far out, because I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna do like the furthest away I can get, see where I can build out from there, and then just kind of fill in the middle as I go.
Mhm.
I'm assuming it looked like with like the researching or whatever, I'm assuming that there's like going to be better tiers of certain modules and stuff like that as I continue going. So that kind of seemed like it's like, oh, okay, I'll just put like, I guess this level 1 whatever stock room or whatever here, and then the level 2s maybe are bigger. I don't know.
Mhm.
But just kind of leaving room. I'm not really planning anything, kind of. I just kind of
Yeah.
assume at some point like this is just going to get blown up, and then I'll just have to start all over again at some point. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
just how I'm
so
dealing with it.
the game also does have meta progression, where you can unlock better things from the start going forwards as well. So like it's one of those great like roguelike kind of things where like after a couple of failures, you'll be like, oh, now I can start with this kind of like a armory level 2 instead of like armory level 1 or whatever it is. And
Okay.
you'll find it easier to make progress, and then before you know it, you're going into those like parts on the galaxy map where it's like, this says it's a level 7 and I'm gonna give it a try, and then the panic starts again, and then it's just like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I did see on the map a biohazard icon.
Oh.
Like I don't know
Yep.
what that is, but I'm leaving that alone for right now.
Yeah.
So
Good call.
when you guys played this, did you like eventually fall into like a particular like ship layout that you liked, or were you always changing it every time you
I
made a
kind of changed
run?
every time, I think. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
I was experimenting with how to, like, because the idea you've got right now is pretty solid because you have some foreknowledge of what to expect going in. When we played it, it was like, I don't know what this is, so all of my stuff was like really tight and compact.
Yeah.
And then the second time I played it, was like, no, maybe I move this away from everything else, and then maybe this other stuff gets moved around. Like it's
Okay.
really annoying when like your cloning place gets shut down and like deactivated, because like that's where you can get replacements from, and that can be very, very annoying if that gets like locked off from you
Right.
for whatever
Okay.
reason it may be.
Cool. But yeah, so far I'm doing all right.
Yeah. That's a
I,
great
I
game.
haven't died yet. There's been a couple times where I probably should have, just being
Right.
stupid.
That'll happen, to be honest.
Yeah. But that's the two things that I played this week. So
All right.
obviously we're not going to Boston.
Yeah. The only thing I played this week, other than like, are we roguelike a game? I played more marathon. Blah blah blah. Like the big game this week was Lego Batman. You should go check that out. It's really good. Let's talk about our releases for the week of July 13th, 2026. First up is Ascend to Zero, coming out on series consoles and PC. This is Game Pass day and date. This is a cool looking kind of time-stopping isometric hack and slash roguelike, where it's like fast multi-dashing movement plus being able to freeze your enemies and freeze time to kind of like get around them and do extra damage and get out of the way of attacks and stuff. So I think this looks pretty cool. I think I'm kind of always on the lookout for interesting new roguelikes to play, and Ascend to Zero looks pretty neat. So check that out in Game Pass this week. Next up is a game called D-Topia. That's D-Topia, coming out on PS5, Series Consoles, Switch 2, and PC. This is an Annapurna published game where it's a they're calling it kind of like a light puzzle game. The press release here calls it a gentle-paced puzzle adventure. And it seems like it's a far future kind of artificial intelligence, quote-unquote, maximizing happiness, end quote. And you're solving puzzles to keep the residents happy and the facility running here in a way that looks like it's all kind of put together like oh my god, what was that puzzle game on PS4, the Jonathan Blow puzzle game?
Witness.
Yeah, The Witness, thank you. It looks like it's kind of like that, where it's not one puzzle type, but it's a bunch of kind of different puzzle types that are all using the same basic kind of formula here. So I think that looks cool. I also like that a lot of the marketing is like, yeah, it's a gentle-paced puzzle adventure. Like, this is not going to be the, like, go, 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 like, solve the puzzle, or we all die. You know, not one of those things, which I appreciate. I think I like the honesty in the marketing here quite a bit.
What was that one game called? Keep Talking or the Bomb Explodes?
Yeah, keep talking
or we all die.
nobody explodes, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it's
That's
the
pretty good
polar
marketing.
opposite of that, yeah. Speaking of polar opposites, next game here is Densha Attack, coming out for PS5, Series consoles, Switch 2, and PC. This is on Game Pass day and date as well. You've probably seen this as the remember that manga that was the Initial D parody where the train was doing multi-track drifting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
Oh, that's this. Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially like an on rails, pun intended, train racing, drifting sort of thing. I don't quite know how to quantify this other than
I like, it looks cool. It looks
does.
insane. It looks like I want to play it.
Yeah,
I also, apparently, Iron Mouse has a train in this.
that's incredible. I love that.
I believe they also performed a song for it, I think.
Perfect. Yeah, it looks truly wild in that kind of like Katamari way, where it's like, I'm not sure if I understand what I'm watching, but I really want to check it out, and I'm still not sure why.
Bet you that intro's a banger.
Almost guaranteed. So that's Densha Attack. You should check out a trailer for that. The song in the trailer is real good. So I got to check that out at some point. Next up, Concept Begins comes out on Switch, Switch 2, and PC. You might not have heard of the Concept series of games that have been going on since the Saturn, the PS2, something like that. It is a fusion of board games and deck builders. So essentially, the dungeon that you're playing on is a board game. So you're kind of going around the board and running into events and fighting enemies and stuff. And then when you fight an enemy, you're playing a card or cards from your deck to try and take out the enemy. It's a game I've kind of always looked at from the outside of like, oh, yeah, that seems like a game I would really like. I think I own it on PS2. I never got the 360 game because that was definitely one of those RPGs that came out and was immediately like $200 if you didn't find the first print run.
Yeah.
Shock of shocks.
Yeah. I've never heard of it before. But these games have always seemed really cool, and I appreciate how much the marketing for this game is like, you haven't heard of this game, but it's a classic. Which I think is really great, of just being honest about it, of like, it's cool if you haven't heard about this. It's been around forever, and hopefully this is the game that kind of takes off from here. So
it kind of reminds me of like the next step in dungeon encounters.
Yeah. Oh man,
in a weird way.
I can't
sequel when.
I can't go back to playing Dungeon Encounters again. It's too good. Oh my god.
I mean, you can.
I can.
You shouldn't.
But like, I can't. I shouldn't. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, Moss: The Forgotten Relic comes out PS5, Series consoles, Switch, Switch 2, and PC. You probably remember the previous two Moss games that were VR exclusive games. They were kind of big hits, especially on the PSVR 1. This is those two games, but not in VR anymore. So they're kind of like 2D versions of that, which is really great because apparently these games are incredible, and I am not going to spend money on VR stuff, but I will spend money on these.
As someone who bought a PSVR 1 and this game, this was a really enjoyable game. And it was really cool, the weird things you could do with the VR setup. So
how much, since you've played this, how much do you think them removing the VR from a game like this that seemed so not reliant on VR, but like that was kind of core to the game, how much do you think is going to be lost from the original games by taking away that VR part, if anything?
So I think the game itself was already pretty solid even without the VR. I think what you would really lose is just some of the weird quirkiness you could do with the camera, because your point of view was just the camera. That was really it.
You were like leaning
And
into
so
a book, right? Like
yeah, so like you could lean around and you could see past things. One of the things I remember was I had Moss jump into a hole, but I couldn't see it, but I could then look down the hole and see
and
Moss
see her
running
from,
around
like,
in there. And
above.
yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
so some of that stuff where it's like you could play with the perspective of you, so you could like better move yourself and see where Moss and better interact with the environment. That would probably be lost, but maybe they do like a free floating camera and you just completely control where the camera goes in this. I honestly don't know.
Right.
But I think if you were interested in playing Moss, but not having a PSVR was what was holding you back, I think this would make a fine, just regular game without the VR.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see where reviews land on this because, like you said, the core game seemed like it was a cool kind of like character platforming puzzle 3D sort of thing. And I'm hoping that if they, by taking away that VR portion of it, they don't lose the kind of the best part of the game, like the spirit of the game, and it turns out to be like, yeah, it's still a good game without the VR. It's just like a solid puzzle platforming sort of thing now.
Yeah, 'cause I remember there being kind of like hidden things behind the scenery kind of stuff that you could position yourself to see. It didn't really do anything for the game. It's not like you were looking for like collectibles or anything that way. It was just kind of like, this gate's locked, and then you can kind of like peek around the gate to kind of see it, kind of thing.
Sure.
So
interesting.
It'd be cool if you could control the camera like that in this, but I honestly don't know what they're doing with it. So
yeah, I don't either.
But yeah, it was a good game either way.
Curious to find out. All right, that's all of our releases for this week. We obviously talked about the news story earlier, which means we're at the end of our episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Please don't forget to join our Discord server, discord.tvgp.tv. We do have the best community on the internet, and we're not just saying that to lie to you or anything. Our community is incredible. Please go join them. Them and us were in the server all the time too. It's not the Penny Arcade forums. And don't forget to join all of our game focused sort of stuff on the bottom there as well. Let's put another plug here for our Patreon page at patreon.com/e1m1 or e1m1.cash.
Those ones are the numerical digits 1.
$5 a month tier is a recommended one. Gets you everything. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated. You can support us over there, like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff on both YouTube and Twitch. And most importantly, please rate us positively on your podcatcher of choice. That pleases the algorithm, and it helps more people find our show that are maybe listening to related shows. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 All right, Nimp, what are your titles?
I have Gargoyle Takedown, The Bam, the Whack, and the Thwack, Orphan Vision, Peck Dance, and A Light Copyright Warning.
All right, Moon, what do you have?
Hello, fellow teen. Licking the door. Pistols are bananas. Accept the Dutch. We just like Lego. Rare blue flowers are us. Leveling up my fist. That's their problem. The panic starts again, and you can, you shouldn't.
I have one I'm probably going to veto. Persona yourself. I'm leveling up my fists. Good, stupid, and that's +3's problem. We got a lot of good titles here. What are we feeling like?
Oh,
I kind of like Orphan Vision, and that's +3's problem.
I think that's +3's problem is really good and really stupid. I do love it.
yeah, I'm fine with that one.
All right. I'll circle it.
Right.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 977 for July 13th, 2026. That's +3's problem.
If only we could give him a red shirt.
They're really odd.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming and hanging out and watching and liking, subscribing, all that. All right. It's too hot in here. We're going to leave. See you later. Bye.